Well, for those who were living here at the time, it hardly seems like nearly 3 decades have passed since the murder of Selena. The subsequent movies, documentaries, and tributes have helped to keep it fresh in our minds. And now another chapter is about to be written.
I don't think there's any other criminal case that has seen the publicity or the public nature of a case like this one. It's known all over the world.
That is retired judge and former Nueces County District Attorney Carlos Valdez, who successfully led the prosecution in the trial of Yolanda Saldivar.
The sentence was life in prison. And back then, life in prison in a first-degree felony, which is what this was, meant that a person who's convicted and sentenced to life has to serve 30 calendar years before they're eligible to request parole.
According to the Texas Department of Criminal Justice website, that 30-year stretch is up on March 30th, 2025. Saldivar is already in the parole review process, something that the Texas Board of Pardons and Paroles typically begins 6 months ahead of time for an inmate facing parole eligibility for the first time.
Most people think that there's a public hearing like a trial or something. It's not. It's a process. It's not a hearing. It's a process that starts with 3 people on the parole board who start gathering information.
That can include an offender's criminal history and their behavior while in prison, as well as any letters of protest or support on file. Eventually, the inmate herself will be interviewed. After that, the 3-member board voting panel will decide by majority vote whether to grant or deny parole. When asked whether he thinks Saldivar should be set free next year, Valdez says he does not, adding this.
30 years later, there is so much interest in the case, and I really believe that the safest place for Yolanda would probably be where she is.
Now, Yolanda Saldivar has never denied the shooting, but has maintained that it was an accident. Judge Valdez tells me that it is still his belief that the evidence says it was intentional. Selena's father, Abraham Quintanilla, says he has not been contacted by the Texas Board of Pardons and Paroles regarding Saldivar's case. Back to you.